Good morning, children. So now let us continue with the lesson, general science lesson, acid, bases and salts. In the first part, we have studied about acid, bases, isn't it? The difference between acid and bases. What is acid? Acids are sour in taste, whereas bases are bitter in taste. Bases are soapy to touch, and acids, we cannot touch them, isn't it? And they are soluble in water. Some bases are soluble in water, and acids, all the acids are soluble in water. There are two types of acids. One is natural acid and another one is artificial acid. Natural acids are available to us. It is given by the nature to us, and artificial acids are prepared synthetically using the chemicals. Okay, then we are studying about the indicators. What are indicators? Indicators are the substances which are used to know whether the given substance is acid or a base. So we have studied yesterday about the three indicators. Can you name them? First one was turmeric, the next one was China rose, and one more was litmus. Isn't it? These three indicators we have used yesterday. We have learned about it, how to use it and from where they are obtained. So turmeric already you know we use in our daily life. Then China rose, those petals are kept in the water. Then the color changes, and when you use this you will know whether the given substance is acidic or a base, whether it is acid or a base. Then litmus paper, litmus is obtained from lichens, isn't it? That also is dissolved in the water, and that we can test it by using the paper. Litmus paper will be there. If it is red color, it indicates the acid, and if it is blue color, it indicates the base. So now let us study what is acid rain. We have said about acid only yesterday, isn't it? We have not said about acid rain. So acid rain are the rain which contains excess of acids. That is called as the acid rain. So rain, how the rain becomes acidic? Rain will become acidic because this carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide and nitric oxide, they dissolve in the raindrops to form carbonic acid, then nitric acid and sulfuric acid. So this makes the rain acidic. So what is acid rain? Rain containing excess of acids. That is called as acid rain. Then how the rain becomes acidic? Rain becomes acidic because of the carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide and nitrogen dioxide, which are dissolved in the raindrops to form the carbonic acid, HNO3s, nitric oxide and sulfuric acid. So this acid rain, it is harmful also. Why? Because it damages the buildings, the monuments, the plants as well as the animals. So we have said no, caution must be taken while handling the acid and the bases, and especially when you are using the concentrated acids. It is very harmful. It will burn the skin, it will burn the clothes. If it is fallen on the clothes also, the clothes will burn. Isn't it? So the caution must be taken, means precaution always while using this. So what you have to do is, when you are handling these acids and the bases, just they are corrosive in nature and they are irritating. Sometimes you might have seen in your home also when you put the acid in on the tiles and all, what happens, how it burns, how it smells. So irritating smell will be there. So you have much experience. So very much care. So only they tie the cloth to the nose and then they use the acid for cleaning, isn't it, for the tiles and all. So caution must be taken because it is corrosive, irritating and harmful to the skin. So this is about the acid rain, what we have studied, acid and acid rain. Now next, today what we are going to study is neutralization. So what is neutralization? So neutralization is a process in which the acid and the base react to form what? Salt and water, and heat is evolved. Okay, this is called as neutralization. Then in this neutralization, we apply neutralization in our daily life. For example, in digestion and by soil treatment and factory waste. So these are the four uses of neutralization in our daily life. So let us study one by one through the smart board. Okay. So now can you tell me now, we have studied about three indicators, isn't it, in the previous class. Which are those three indicators? Turmeric, China rose, then litmus. Now we are going to study about another indicator known as phenolphthalein. What it is? Phenolphthalein. This is also an indicator. So this we use in neutralization. Okay, let us see the smart board. So I said you neutralization. Today we are going to study about neutralization. First, what is the definition of neutralization? So the definition for the neutralization is reaction of an acid with the base to form salt and water. So neutralization reaction, when acid reacts with the base, salt and water is formed along with the heat, I said it. So now let us see the neutralization.
Neutralization. In this module, you will learn about with an acid and a base, neutralization. In this module, you will learn about neutralization.
So I said you, what is neutralization? So through this experiment, we can see what is neutralization. Reaction.
When an acid and a base are mixed in definite volumes, they react to form a salt and water, which do not exhibit any of the acid or base properties. This reaction is called a neutralization reaction.
So here NaCl, this is a base, and HCl, this is a acid. So when an acid and a base are mixed in the definite volumes, they react to form what? Salt and water, which do not exhibit, which will not show the properties of acid or a base. This reaction is called as neutralization reaction.
Take 10 ml of dilute sodium hydroxide solution in a conical flask and add 2 or 3 drops of phenolphthalein solution to it. The color of the solution becomes pink.
So what is done first? We have to take 10 ml of dilute solution of sodium hydroxide solution. So what is sodium hydroxide solution? It is a base in a conical flask. This is a conical flask, and what we have to do? 2 to 3 drops of phenolphthalein solution. I said phenolphthalein is an indicator which is used to know the present, whether the given substance is acid or a base. So what we are adding? Which indicator we are adding here? Phenolphthalein. So what happens? The color of the solution changes, or it becomes pink in color when phenolphthalein indicator is added to sodium hydroxide.
Add dilute hydrochloric acid to the conical flask using dropper. After addition of a few drops, the pink color disappears.
So now what happens? Now we are adding acid. We added that time sodium chloride, that is base. Now let us add the acid. Add dilute hydrochloric acid to the conical flask using the dropper. After addition of few drops, the pink color disappears. So already we had got pink color when we added the base with the phenolphthalein indicator. Now again when you are adding this dilute hydrochloric acid, dilute means it will be mixed with the water. I told you yesterday what is dilute acid and what is concentrated acid. So dilute means it will be mixed with the water. So what happens when you add dilute hydrochloric acid to the conical flask? After the addition of few drops, the pink color will disappear again now. When you added the base, the color was changed to pink color. Now again when you have added the acid, the color disappears.
On adding few drops of NaOH solution, the solution turns pink again.
So again, now the color had gone already pink color. So again we had added the sodium hydroxide solution. NaOH is sodium hydroxide solution. The solution again turns into pink color when the base is added.
Thus, acid and base tend to cancel the effect of each other. When the right quantity of acid is added to alkaline solution, the resulting solution becomes neutral, neither acidic nor basic.
So now what we have seen in this experiment, that is when you are adding a base, the color changes. Again when you add the acid, what happens? Again the color disappears. So thus acid and base tend to cancel cancel the effect of each other. When the right quantity of acid is added to the alkaline solution, means what? To the base, the resulting solution becomes neutral. Means the solution becomes neutral, nor it is an acid nor it is a base. So we have studied now what is neutralization. The reaction between the acid and a base is called as neutralization. And what is evolved? Water plus salt with the heat.
In this module we have learned, when an acid and a base are mixed in definite volumes, they react to form a salt and water, which do not exhibit any of the acid or base properties. This reaction is called a neutralization reaction.
This is neutralization.
Sodium hydroxide turns pink when phenolphthalein is added to it. The pink color disappears on adding dilute hydrochloric acid.
So here what we have studied about the neutralization reaction, and when the color changes and when the color disappears. Color changes to pink color when phenolphthalein indicator is added to the base, and again when the acid is added the color disappears.
Neutralization reaction in the
Here also we will learn about the neutralization reaction of hydrochloric acid and the sodium hydroxide solution.
releases acid through its stink, which But if you apply some mild base like baking soda on it, the irritation stops. Neutralization reaction. In this module, you will learn about the neutralization reaction of hydrochloric acid and sodium hydroxide. Have you ever been stung by a honeybee? A honeybee releases acid through its sting, which irritates your skin. But if you apply some mild base like baking soda on it, the irritation stops. Neutralizes the acid released from the sting. The reaction between an acid and a base to form salt and water is known as neutralization reaction. Let's perform an action.
So now here we'll see about neutralization reaction of hydrochloric acid and sodium hydroxide. Okay. So you might have seen when a honeybee
Irritates your skin.
what happened?
But if you apply some mild base like baking soda on it, the irritation stops because the base neutralizes the acid released from the sting. The reaction between an acid and a base to form salt and water is known as neutralization reaction. Let's perform an activity to learn about the neutralization reaction of hydrochloric acid and sodium hydroxide.
So what happens when an ant bites? What happens? It leaves this thing acid called as formic acid. So you will have the itching and the complete part will become red and all. So excess of acidity. So to neutralize that you have to put some of the base, that is the baking soda or something. When you apply it, it becomes normal. So like this, when there is excess of acid, base must be added to neutralize it. So this is called as neutralization reaction. This is one of the example, and bite, what we use in our daily life.
For this activity, we need a test tube, a measuring cylinder, a dropper, hydrochloric acid solution, sodium hydroxide solution, and a phenolphthalein indicator.
So here we have used the phenolphthalein indicator. So 4 indicators we have learnt.
Take a test tube and add hydrochloric acid to it. Add a few drops of phenolphthalein to the hydrochloric acid. Note the color of the solution. colorless. Phenolphthalein is colorless in an acidic solution but is pink in a basic solution.
So here phenolphthalein.
Now, add 2 or 3 drops of sodium hydroxide solution, which is a basic solution. The color of the solution in the test tube does not change even after the addition of basic sodium hydroxide solution. Why is this so? When appropriate quantities of acidic and basic solution are mixed together, they neutralize the effect of each other. The resultant solution is neither acidic nor basic, so the solution remains colorless. Now add some more sodium hydroxide drop by drop to the solution till it turns pink. The change of color from colorless to pink shows that the solution has become basic. At this stage, add 1 drop of hydrochloric acid to this solution. You will be surprised to notice that the solution again turns colorless. If you add 1 drop of sodium hydroxide to the solution, the pink color reappears. The moment the pink color reappears, the solution becomes basic. Now touch the test tube. The test tube has become warm after the addition of sodium hydroxide. In neutralization reactions, heat is always produced. The evolved heat raises the temperature of the reaction mixture.
So we had studied that neutralization is a reaction between an acid and a base to form salt and water. So now through this experiment what we are seeing that in neutralization reaction heat is always produced. So when we added sodium hydroxide, heat was evolved. You have touched the test tube and seen, isn't it? The evolved heat raises the temperature of the reaction mixture.
In this module, you have learned that when appropriate quantities of an acidic and a basic solutions are mixed, they neutralize the effect of each other. The resultant solution is neither acidic nor basic. The reaction is known as neutralization reaction. Neutralization reactions are accompanied by the evolution of heat.
So here in this, what we have studied, appropriate quantities of acidic and basic. Means correct quantity of acid and the base must be added. How much acid is added, the same way the base must be added. Otherwise the reaction does not take place. The color will be remaining same if the base is less, or if you add less as HCl hydrochloric acid, then the color will not change. So what it is said that when appropriate quantities of acidic and basic solution are mixed, they neutralize the effect of each other. The resulting solution is neither acidic nor basic. The reaction is known as neutralization reaction. And neutralization reaction is accompanied by the evolution of heat, and heat is evolved. Now next, neutralization in everyday life. So I told you in everyday also this we come across. So the first
Neutralization in everyday life. You will learn about some applications of neutralization in everyday life.
one we have said about the ant bite, isn't it? Now next let us see.
An ant bite is painful,
Yeah.
isn't it? When an ant bites, it injects an acid called formic acid in the skin. Formic acid causes the skin at the bite area to become red and itchy.
So what it injects, which acid? When it bites, it injects the acid known as formic acid. So only that part becomes red and you feel like itching.
To soothe the pain and itching from an ant bite, usually moist baking soda or calamine solution is applied to the bite area. Why? Well, let us find out.
So when it bites ant, what do you add? Baking soda or calamine solution is added on that, or it is applied on that part of the hand.
Baking soda is chemically sodium bicarbonate, while calamine lotion contains zinc carbonate. Both sodium bicarbonate and zinc carbonate are bases that neutralize formic acid present at the bite area and thus soothe the pain and itching. Let us now learn about another application of neutralization in improving quality of soil.
So what we had done? We had seen that when ant bites, it injects acid known as formic acid. So now there is excess of acid. So calamine solution or the baking soda was added. So this both contains the base. So when acid and base react, it neutralizes, and that is the thing we use when ant bites. We apply it. So it neutralizes, and then the redness of that part will be removed.
Excessive use of chemical fertilizers can cause the soil to become acidic or basic. Too acidic or too basic soils are not good for crop growth. Now, how is soil acidity or basicity reduced?
So whenever the farmer has to grow the crops, they first check the soil, whether it is acidic or whether it is basic and all. So if it is too acidic or if it is too basic, they cannot grow the crops. So if it is more acidic or more basic, what precautions are taken? Let us see that. How they neutralize it?
Soil acidity is reduced by treating it with bases like quicklime, that is calcium oxide, or slaked lime, that is calcium hydroxide.
So
The base neutralizes the acid present in the soil.
So here if the soil is more acidic, so a base is added to neutralize it. So what is the name of the base which has been added here? It is quicklime or
Excessive use of chemical fertilizers can cause soil acidity is reduced by treating it with bases like quicklime,
and
that is calcium oxide, or slaked lime, that is calcium hydroxide.
so this is acidic soil.
The base neutralizes the acid present in the soil.
So this neutralization takes place between acid and a base.
Likewise, to reduce soil basicity, organic matter is added to the soil. The organic matter releases acids in the soil, thereby neutralizing its basicity. A reduction in soil basicity ensures proper crop growth.
So
One more application of neutralization is waste treatment.
So first, if the soil contains more acidic, base is added and it is neutralized. Supposing if it contains more base, organic matters, organic compost is added or the acid is added to make it neutralized. So in this way they neutralize it and then they cultivate the crops. Now the next application is factory waste.
Industrial waste contains acids. If waste is allowed to flow into water bodies as such, it can pollute water. Polluted water is harmful to aquatic plants, the animals, as well as human beings.
So factory waste, what happens? Lot of waste is being thrown in the water. So the animals which are living in the water, this is very harmful for them. Many may die also, even for the plants. So how it is treated when it contains more acid?
Industrial waste is thus treated with bases so as to neutralize the acids present in it. This way, neutralization helps in reducing water pollution.
So what happens?
Want to know about another common application of neutralization? Here you go. Antacids are commonly used to treat stomach acidity. But did you know how antacids work? Well, our stomach contains hydrochloric acid for digestion of food. An increased level of hydrochloric acid in the stomach causes acidity. All antacids contain a base like magnesium hydroxide. That neutralizes the hydrochloric acid, thereby reducing acidity.
So another application in our daily life is indigestion. Indigestion means sometimes when you eat more or something is wrong, when there is a problem in digestion, what happens? Your stomach starts paining. So that means it shows that more acidity, or sometimes acidity also may be there, or more acid is there. So to neutralize that, what you have to eat? To neutralize it, they give a base, that is milk of magnesia or magnesium hydroxide is given, so that they neutralize it. So acid and the base neutralize, then you will not have the indigestion problem. So this is another example. So for the neutralization, we have studied 4 examples. One is indigestion, another one is ant bite, then soil treatment and the factory waste.
In this module you learned some common applications of neutralization include treatment of insect bites, treatment of acidic and basic soils to make them fit for crop growth, treatment of industrial waste, thus reducing water pollution, treatment of stomach acidity.
So these 4 common applications of neutralization we have studied, which is that the first one is treatment of the insect bites, next one is treatment of acidic and basic soils to make them fit for the crop growth, and the third one is treatment of industrial waste, thus reducing the water pollution, and the last one is treatment of stomach acidity. Children, here we have completed the chapter acid, bases and salts. So in this chapter we have studied about the acids, bases, the difference between acid and base. Then we have studied about the indicators, 4 indicators we have studied, that is turmeric, China rose, phenolphthalein and the litmus paper. Then we have studied about the acid rain. What is acid rain? When the rain contains excess of acid, it is the rain becomes acid. That is called as the acid rain. Then what are the causes? What are the harm by the acid rain is the buildings, monuments and the plants and animals it harms. Then next we have studied the precautions must be taken while handling the acid and the bases. Why? Because they are corrosive in nature and harmful for the skin. Next we have studied about neutralization. What is neutralization? Neutralization is a process in which acid and the base react to form salt and water. And heat is evolved. Then we have said about neutralization in everyday life. How neutralization is used in our daily life. That is for the 4 things we have seen. That is indigestion, that is excess of acidity. The next one is ant bite. Then third one is the soil treatment. And the last one is factory waste. So here we have completed chapter. Next chapter will continue in the next class. Very soon your school also will be opening. I think remaining lessons will be taken in the school for you all. And PDF will be sent for this last heat lesson also. I have to send the PDF as a acid, bases and salts. So heat I will be sending it on Friday after, when you all will get the notes, we'll send the PDF for these two lessons. So see the video and whatever definitions are there in the videos, at least those you can learn it. Today you have learned so many definitions about the neutralization, about the acid rain, then the difference between acid and a base, all this. So but through video also you can learn the definitions and keep it ready. Okay, thank you.